Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to talk to you today about subliminal messaging. A lot of people may not have heard of that, so I'm going to play a video and this guy's going to kind of explain how subliminal messaging works in the media. But the reason why I'm bringing this to your attention, because I need people to understand how white supremacy stays the way it is. Because I was like, for me, I think, gosh, you know, we have all this knowledge of history of the things that white supremacist terrorists have done, and yet we still have many black people jumping to their defense, and many black people that would jump in front of a bullet to even protect Donald Trump. You would have black people would do this, and you have to really wonder why. Like, how can a black person psychologically trust a white person? Like, how can you even trust them? And you know the evil things that they've done, so you would think that we would look at all of them as if they have horns and pitchforks because of their behavior. If we're really judging them based on their behavior, we would have nothing to do with them. We would kill them on sight just to protect ourselves. So I'm going to play this video really quick. Again, if my machine wants to work, so far it's looking like it's going to work. So I'm going to play it, and then we'll chat right after.
Is real. So the truth about subliminal messaging is that since the late 50s, advertisers have really been trying to influence us on a subconscious level to get us to buy products. The key in subliminal advertising is to hide it so well that you cannot possibly see it unless you are really looking for it or you know what to look for. The subliminal messaging is everywhere. It's not just in advertising. I mean, it's in music, film and television, it's in politics, pop culture. You can choose to believe that advertising in general has no effect on you.
And you have to think, if they can use subliminal messaging to make you, let's say, want to go buy a Coke or a Pepsi, make you feel thirsty, then I'm going to explain to you how white supremacy helps, or how subliminal messaging helps white supremacy. Because it's everywhere, and once you are aware of it, you will begin to see it, and you'll be able to understand it, and then we will be able to educate our children to see it. And it really breaks you out of this mind prison, because when you're walking around like a zombie and you're having all these visual messaging and pictures and cartoons and, like he said, videos throwing these messages at you, and you're not conscious of them. Once you're conscious of them and you know that they're happening, you can see them more, and you'll be able to then really understand how white supremacy works. Okay.
But why would they spend billions and billions of dollars on it if it didn't work? If you have any question whether subliminal messaging exists, let me show you this. Here we have a Gilby's London Dry Gin ad. If you look carefully, the letters S, E, X. So here's a new Wendy's logo, and the message they're trying to convey here is home-cooked, fresh food. And how do you convey that best? By hiding mom. Just like good old home cooking. Here we have a traditional pack of Camel filters. Look a little closer. That is a penis. The advertisers know exactly what they're doing. It's very specific. It's there to get us to buy the product. If it even sells 1% and they're advertising to millions and millions of people, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars. My name is Jeff Warwick. I'm a filmmaker. And the truth is, subliminal messaging is real.
Okay. So now let's talk about some other kind of subliminal messaging. Because one time I was on here and I was just, let's see what happens if we type in beautiful woman. I'm a very slow typer, sorry, people. Okay, so let's see what comes up. Oh crap, I'm sorry, that's in YouTube, so we need to get, but even here, what do you see? You see white women. But let's go back, let's get out of this. And go up here and go into Google and type in a couple of things. Okay, so now we're going to put that into Google eventually. And then we're just going to say whatever. This is what you see. Okay, this is important for people to understand. Okay, this is messaging to you and to your children when they type in what a beautiful woman is. These are the images that come up. You get white women. Let's type in angry women. Let's see what we get on that one. I've not typed these in, so I guess if you're a woman, you're just, but notice how it's not a bad thing. They have white women, but the titles are nice. They're powerful. The importance of being an angry woman, it's not bad things because these are white women. I notice, and I think you guys can all notice this. If you pick up a magazine, a Glamour or Cosmo or why are we still in this? Let's get out of this. Or any of those kinds of magazines, you will see pretty much everyone in it is white. You can go 99% of the people in these magazines are white. And this is telling you something. This is not done for no reason. Let me get out of here. Let's see what they put in for angry men. One time I was putting, I don't even remember what I put in here. Oh, great. Okay, this is being stupid. So you guys can play around with that yourselves because it's not working for me. Okay, so there we're done. But I want you guys to do this, notice this yourself. Whether you're watching TV or the news or reading a magazine, notice what they're showing you. Notice how you'll constantly see on the news negative pictures of Black people. They're not doing this by accident. They're doing this to train everyone's mind to believe that Black is bad and white is good. I noticed that I would see, even in children's books, you'll see the white children are happy and they're smiling. And if there by chance is a brown or black child, that child is sad or crying or something. And this is a big one that I've noticed. So I was noticing that on the covers of magazines, when there's Black women on them, the Black women are not smiling. They're usually looking angry or like stern, but all the white women are smiling. And that you need to realize the reason for that is so that Black women can continue to have a reputation as being angry. So they're not happy. They're angry. They're bitter. They have a chip on their shoulder, even though she's on the cover of a magazine. And I wish I could remember this one. That's there's a magazine that just came out, and I really wish I could remember which one it was. Oh, it's on Essence magazine, and who is it? For some reason, I want to say Gabrielle Union, but I really don't think that's her. But irregardless, that's besides the point. We have to realize the psychology behind white supremacy. Because without the psychology, without them taking your brain, if they don't have your power over your brain, then they don't have power over you. And the best way for them to have power over you, and they also need to have power over everyone else, because they need to train the children of today that are going to be, you know, the adults of tomorrow that are white. They need them to think that they're superior too. And so they need to make sure all the magazines, all the advertisements, all the billboards, all the, even if you go into a school and you look at the pictures and posters that they have on the wall, they're going to be of white people being happy, black people being sad. And that is why when there was a test done, and I think you can Google this. I can try to Google it for you guys really quick. Oh no! I just did it the wrong way. Actually, okay. I'm not gonna share it in this video because I'll share it in a different video. So I'm gonna close this window. Okay, but there's a video that shows I think it was done in the 80s or something, or it might have been more recent, where they had a black doll and the brown doll, and they're asking the children which one's the bad doll, which one's the good one. I'm just gonna show it to you guys. I'll do another video on that one. I'll look it up and find it. But if you guys we have to look at these things, because the psychological warfare is real. It's real, and it's big, and we need to really look at what they're showing our kids in school, what cartoons they're showing, because if you actually sit down and watch one of these cartoons that these kids are watching these days, they're extremely pro-white supremacy. Everything is. The books are pro-white supremacy. And if we can't just sit back and not do anything to counteract that. And that's the thing. That's the big thing, is what can we do to counteract these constant subliminal messaging? And what we can do first is we need to recognize it ourselves, and we need to notice it, and we need to familiarize ourselves with what it is and what and how it works. And after we do that, we need to definitely tell our kids. Kids are very receptive, and they're very smart, and you can tell a 2-year-old start training 2-year-olds that, you know, you show them black storybooks and pictures and cartoons, and make a conscious effort to expose your child to positive black media, and because if you don't, then they're only getting this white this white supremacist media. And another thing is, so there is a school in my son's neighborhood, or in my neighborhood that I live, and I really want my son to go to a diverse school. And so I looked at the statistics online to see, you know, what the demographics were, and it had, you know, very high amount of minorities. And so when I went up to the school to, you know, to check it out in person, because I'm not going to send my son somewhere that I haven't been, that I haven't visited. And it was still summer, and so we went in there, and I looked at the wall of the faculty, and they're all white. Every person on that faculty board was white. And then I noticed at the bottom, there was one black man, and he was the janitor. And if you think that those children aren't learning something from what the staff that are there, then you have to, there's no possible way that those children aren't getting a negative effect at looking at all the superior people, all of our teachers, the smart ones, the ones that are in charge are white. Oh, and the one person that is of color is cleaning up after us. Like, right away, I knew, like, no, you're not going to send that message to my child. And I actually talked to the principal and explained to her what my concerns were. And I told her, this is done intentionally. There's no possible way that in Seattle you cannot find a brown teacher. Whether that person's Indian or Asian or black, you can find some brown teachers. There's no possible way that you accidentally only chose white teachers. And that's what she tried to say. She tried, oh, well, we just don't get a lot of, no, you're lying. You need to just cut them off at that. If they're lying, they're lying. Please call them out on it. Yeah, if you're being racist, you're being racist. If you're being a white supremacist, you're being a white supremacist. You're getting called out on it, period. I'm not going to yell at her and jump down her throat, but I'm going to tell her that I noticed what she's doing. I know what you're doing, and I'm calling the superintendent. And I did call them, and I found a different school for my son to go to that had some minorities on the staff. I hate that word, minorities, because black people are not minorities. But I'm going to try to erase that from my vocabulary. But my point is, these things are done intentionally to program your children to be white supremacists. And that's why it's, like, me and my sisters were, like, frustrated at, like, how is this happening? Like, how are black people voting for Donald Trump? This is why, because they're programmed. Their brain does not belong to them. In their brain, they are white supremacists. They are black on the outside, and they're black, but they're white supremacists. They believe white people are supreme. They are the number one. You can be black, Mexican, Asian, any other race, and you can still be a white supremacist. And we need to understand that. We need to understand that just because someone has brown skin does not mean they're not a white supremacist. And until we get our minds back, until we get our children's minds back, we're going to stay in the same situation. And that's why we're mental slaves now. That's why slavery has not ended, because now we're just mental slaves. We don't have the chains around our arms because they have chains around our brains already. And that starts from birth. And when you are programming someone from birth, and I understand some people will say, oh, well, my kids don't watch that much TV. Well, if your kid is outside, they see billboards, they see magazines and ads. You can't drive downtown without seeing ads in windows, and you see these happy white people, and they're showing you what this is what we want. If they put a white man and a black woman, that is purposeful. Okay, they're trying to make you think a certain way and believe a certain way, and we need to realize this, and we need to just really be mindful of what we're putting in our heads and what we're putting in front of our children. First, definitely be mindful of what they're putting in front of your child. You as a parent should know what they're teaching your kid. There's 3/4 of the year they switch off, and you need to know every time when Black History Month comes up, if they're going to teach your children Black history, you need to know what the content is, because they can teach your kid as much Black history as they want to, and if the content is white supremacist, then that's what they're teaching your kid. When they're teaching your kid about Martin Luther King, they're doing that for a reason. They're teaching your kid about Martin Luther King instead of Malcolm X for a reason, because they need to program your child to be submissive to their white supremacy, and that's what they want. So we really need to get into the psychology behind white supremacy, because they're doing something and it's working. What they're doing works. So we need to figure out what it is. We need to find out what the compounds of their potions are. Like, whatever they're doing, we need to figure out how it is. We need to dissect it, and we need to get rid of it, because this global white supremacist terrorism is ruining everything, and we need to get in front of it and stop being behind it. All right, thank you for watching this. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video. We really need to make videos like this go viral. Just get education and empowerment out there to the Black community. Thank you so much, and see you on the next video. Bye.